clocked out from a very exhausting day, so hard that I'm here for the new episode. Hello, everybody. I mean, I intended to be as is, but still, I probably wasn't gonna end up being. Uh, anyways, hello, everybody. It's I, Niab, Akahoni, whatever we want to say. I guess that's become a catchphrase now. I kind of realized at this point I've said it that much. But welcome back to yet another exciting episode of Arc 6. I actually never did grab the Twitter images for it. Shit. That's unfortunate, guys, because it was just like it was not on my mind yesterday with everything. Ah, damn. Fuck. Well, that's alright. I can easily go find stuff on my own. Or find it via the just Twitter itself as is if they didn't private it yet. Um, so I am obviously, as mentioned many times, very excited to see what this episode has in store. I think because they might go to a certain length with it, and I am curious because I think that'll cover a whole lot. But outside of that, I know the general gist of what they're covering, and I'm curious to see how they're gonna handle it. Simply because I don't want to say too much, right? I don't want to say something that might accidentally be a spoiler because they might have either rearranged stuff or it might not even be in there quite yet, whatever it may be. But I do think it'll be interesting to see how everything plays out in terms of this compared to the prose of something like the web novel, which could handle everything. I'm being very vague, but again, I'm trying not to say too much in case there is, an issue there. Um, Compared to the prose in the web novel, that I feel like obviously it's easy to tackle this very common sort of I guess trope with ReZero. Trope isn't even accurate, but just story element, I suppose. Uh, and it's simple for that because it's just writing, it's just text. You can always cut off one section and start on the next, and then have it be different. But I want to see how they do that with the anime. So, without further ado, we're just gonna kind of get into this, right? Let me tab into here, and I think we're all good. Let me double check audio. Yeah, audio is all good. Okay, 1, 2. That should be accurate. Yes, that looks good. Okay, without further ado, for a third time, let's do this. Let me put this here. Okay, and 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Yes, I might turn it up just in case. So, hi Beatrice. Ooh. So again, I am curious to see how far. Like I've said this all the time, but I'm curious to see how far this go. Hmm. Because I brought up last time that they could potentially end Volume 4, but I don't know if they will. I don't know if that'll happen this episode. Hmm. Which, I never thought about it, but I guess Beatrice being there, like, yeah, I mean, she did hear about it, right? Or not hear about it, but rather she was there for Arc 5, whereas uh everybody else wasn't in that vicinity, and I mean, Bailey just wasn't there outright. Hmm. I do love how much we're getting the intro, right? I remember this was like a worry for both Arc 5 and 6 was like, how often are we going to get the intro? Maybe they're not going to cover this stuff properly. It's like, no, they're covering it well. and they're not like skipping intros and outros always for it. There are times where they do, but other shows are like that as well. I could list like practically everything I've seen, and all of them would probably have done that at some point, right? Obviously, for this, it's more common, but yeah. Um, but I do like how much Arc 6 has shown it. Arc 6 has hardly hesitated to show these intros and endings, and I do love it a lot. It's been very fun with that. And again, still feels like it's covering all this really damn well. They I will admit it entirely. I think White Fox has entirely improved their whole I guess motto for adapting shows, because this was even prior to ReZero. Um I had heard some issues about Steins Gate Zero, and I do eventually have to get to that myself. But speaking as someone who both read and watched AGK, or Comic a Kill, um, yeah, no, it's crazy that they cut out an entire arc in there. It's rough, like, but I'm glad that it seems like they've gotten a lot better with that. Hmm. There's the scene again. I like the sound effects. Fucking like Vegeta's technique ass sound effects, or rather like via like actual speaking and not just sound effects itself. If it was sound effects, you'd be able to tell. This part is pretty great because it's like, yeah, of course, just overwhelm them in size. I do love this as well. The having this full showing of what had happened when we didn't like essentially know, right? When Julius was fighting them and all this, like having that in there to be like, oh yeah, now you get the understanding for what happened before. Ironically, feeling like the opposite of the Arc 4 Capella thing, where it doesn't actually feel like it strings together with that, versus this where it's like, oh yeah, boom, there you go. Mm, that's pretty great. I think by this point it will potentially. This is fittingly says the exact same thing and all that. It's like, oh, it's great. Oh yeah, think about it. Hmm, depending on how much they cover to an extent, it's actually gonna be pretty interesting. But yeah, also this was a moment that did fuck with me a lot with Arc 6 was, yeah, because this is like with this, it feels like this moment of like, oh my god, like I didn't actually expect this. And even as someone who had like, looked around a little bit with some of this stuff, it's like I never saw this, around. So I'm like, what the fuck? God, I love that as well. The idea that gluttony replaces itself in your head. But yeah, if you have too many memories or that part doesn't make sense, right? That it got replaced, that it feels like there should be something there. That's when like a headache happens because it's like, no, that's not correct, right? You realize in the moment. It's so good. There's another fuck, what is it? There's another series that does something very similar, and I was trying to remember what it was. Mm. Also the voice acting there to go with that visual. Yeah, I forgot which, but there is another series that has something very similar, and also the whole thing of like if you think about it, then it feels weird. Also, I like how rapid those movements were. Hmm, they're drawing them real nice. Mm. Ah, it's so good. Just like some of the stuff with the previous episodes and everything. Oh, it's so damn good. Ah, and then taking on the same tone as love it. Hmm, that's a great line in there, of course. I was gonna say, yeah, now we're gonna show Julius behind. Yeah. Ooh, that actually looked solid. That's what you're just like. Yeah, this is also a really cool moment. I mean, like, obviously we know like a bit of it from before, but seeing this whole thing of like, oh yeah, he's just gonna actively copy whatever he takes. It's like, ooh, ooh, ooh. Excuse me. Yeah, here it is. I was wondering where it was gonna happen. And this is one of the coolest connections to have to that moment where it's like, wait, he got out, and then now you get this again where it's like, wait, he got out. What the fuck happened? Hmm. Or that the crouch with it and everything. Oh, and then for just a dude, it doesn't matter because it's good enough to keep up with him. Mm, 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 mm. Oh, the way his face looks there is really damn good. Ah, can you tell based off all these reactions that I'm very happy about how my literal favorite arc is being animated? Ooh, some sauce to it. Okay. So, this is all exactly how I remember, but I am thinking, hmm, how do they handle everything after? Julius gets to be so good in arc 5 and 6. Like, he gets so much here that it's like, it's so absurdly good for his character, especially when we didn't get much of him, of course, in arc 4, which makes sense given the scenario, but it's like, oh, yeah, just interfering right in the middle. Ooh, yeah. And now, I mean, we remember there was a whole lot, right? There's only one other thing to this that doesn't line up yet. Two, actually. I guess there's two things that don't line up yet, but there's one big one that doesn't line up yet. This is a really cool way of showing it. Oh, we're showing this first. Never mind. This is actually a very cool visual for this. I didn't realize we were showing this first. Yeah, okay, there it is. There's one. Ooh, showing the leg and everything. Damn, the Corleones visual. Ooh. And then, yeah. That's the second one. I said that there was two things that didn't line up yet. That's the second one. Because, yeah, last time this happened as well. Hmm. Oh, always nice to hear the, like, firm echo on that. Let me double check. Okay, yeah, 13 minutes. But, so also, of course, new reset point. So, this is what I want to see if they cover the same way they did with the novel. I actually kind of like how they're drawn in that distance shot. It's a little silly, but I like it. So, again, I'm so curious to see what do they do here for this. Because I remember the general extra details you get throughout it. Actually, come to think of it, that one on that previous loop might not have ended the same way it did normally because there is a unless it's a different thing. I remember something very specific by the end of that, and I'm like, huh. Mm, yeah, I am. I'm so curious as to like if we're getting the same sort of like details with it that we got with the web novel, or if it's gonna be different. I know my sentence there was a little all shuffled around at the end, but of course, as per always, setting that stuff up ahead of time. I think it does actually have to be the same explicitly until we get the moment, right? One of the most iconic moments of the arc. I would actually potentially say the most iconic, but we'll get there. And then, of course, yeah, yet again, what a good visual, and like keeping it to the character colors as well. Oh, but of course, yeah. So now that they get here a little bit faster, and Amelia's still all right because last time they were also there with Shaola and Melee, or like where they were sectioned. So now we're just a little bit earlier on that. Hmm. They're doing such a good job of expressing them. Also, yeah, the tone with that to match. Hmm. Hmm. Oh yeah, yeah. I forgot saying the actual line and everything. And then yeah. Mm. Because I also remember that as well. And also, yeah, here we go. The proper a whole like usage of a clip that we get to see a decent bit of. Mm. Also, again, I didn't get to fully express it properly, but I love how much like Ram just interrupts the recreation of, or not recreation, but recreation. I don't know why I'm pronouncing it in that manner. Uh, of the moment. Also, oof, voice acting there. And then, of course, we already know that. Mhm. God, this is such a good way of showing it. Man, I keep saying it, but it's like, oh, you sure can. I'm very curious to see if people can pick up on what it is. Because obviously, if you have the general understanding that you need for the show as is, you'll potentially realize. Ooh, I. Oh my God, yeah. I mean, we knew this from before, but holy shit. Yeah. And that's why, of course, he calls her that because it's the same color. Oh, I was talking. I accidentally said same sound effects earlier. That was like actual, like Brawly charging his moves sound effects. Oh my God, that's funny. I was gonna say I actually don't remember that for lie. I don't remember that actually happening. I do want to like double check. Oh my God, yeah, we're already at 20 minutes. Wow, so maybe it'll be next episode that finishes the volume. I mean, I do think that still works, right? I think there's still enough to cover with the rest that you can easily handle the final. But it's like, hmm. Also, alternatively, I'm not thinking about the fact that the next episode could also push into it as well. I'm acting as if it is explicitly just has to be the end of volume 4 and that's it. Yep. Mm, Oh, and yeah, we're skipping the outro for the. Maybe not, because I mean, last time they played this, they did just like cut right into it during the chorus. Yeah, and is this where we reveal it? Because I think this is around. Yeah, yeah. This is where we reveal it because it's right there. It's right there. Again, such a cool reveal to have that. Okay, we are doing like the proper chorus cut in. Wow, okay, yeah. So next episode's gonna be the end of it. Makes sense. Also makes sense that like a lot of this episode did look really great, but it does feel like they're trying to hold back a little bit till then. You can kind of tell with that. Hmm. Okay. Let me double check that there's nothing else. Yeah, it just seems like it's just the ending. Yeah, yeah. Okay. Oh, that was good. That was well done. I actually liked how a lot of that was done. Again, mm, the way they showed the actual the colors and everything. My phone it made a sound. I was like confused for a moment. Okay, we'll pause it there. We'll pause that. Reset that in general. Okay, yeah, that was nice. Ooh, ooh, that was good. Okay, I mean, as per usual, this is what normally happens, but like, for being a I can't even call it more tame sort of episode because now you're getting the understanding of what's going on, but it does feel a bit more tame compared to other episodes, of course. For being something like that, though, it was really damn good, and I'm very glad for that. And again, I love how that was colored in and adapted and everything. It's like, oh, that's so good. That's such a clever way of doing it visually, right? It's like, I can't obviously talk in details about that. We'll get there when we get there. But I will say right now that was a very smart way of doing it, right? Kind of giving you the understanding for what's going on and yet still keeping it to this creative angle where it's you know, show don't tell essentially, right? Like they could have done way more to essentially outright explain it, but it felt a lot more show don't tell with that, and I appreciate that a lot because that's a lot better for something like this. Not much else to say, honestly. I mean, like I'm just happy in general with this, and maybe it's that exhaustion and everything from before, but it's like I don't know. The really damn good episode. I'm obviously very excited for the next. If you know, you know. Of course, I'm excited for the next one. Right, this is going to be a huge one, so I'll probably try and be here on time for that. We'll see. But yeah, outside of that, that's about it. So I guess we will end off here. Hopefully by next time as well. I will have finished because yeah, I still haven't, despite the fact that I talked about it on my Arc 10 or not Arc 10, Arc 9 final volume review. Arc 10, whoa, we're way ahead. No, um, the Arc 9 final volume review of yeah, I was like I've been spending a lot of time like watching Witch from Mercury because that show's like absurdly fucking good, and it's like I like big mech shows, so of course first entry into a Gundam series being written like this and everything and having characters like this, I'm gonna love the shit out of it, right? But I actually have yet to get back to finishing up the second core. I still have I watched one episode at that time, like I had discussed, and then I have not watched more of it. So potentially by next time, I will be here with the full catalog of that in my brain, right? And if not, you are free to cartoonishly evil, like in that degree, right? Just cartoonishly evil, uh, throw insults in the comments about the fact that I have not finished it yet. And if I do finish it by that point, you can do the reverse. You can do cartoonishly good, I guess, like in terms of alignment, comments congratulating, or still evil, but still congratulating in that sense. But yeah, with that said, though, we're gonna end off here. So again, hopefully I've done that by next week, but we'll see. Uh, but outside of that, I'm excited for the next episode, of course. There's gonna be a lot here that's gonna be really great, in terms of what's left to cover for the volume. Uh, I mean, honestly, maybe the next episode will just be the like end of the volume as a whole, and that's it. It very well could be. But okay. Take care. Have yourselves a great day. Stay safe, and I will see you all with the next reaction or whatever it may be. But probably the next reaction. Farewell, peeps.